I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. We have all just watched that and it's time to get our reactions to it. Got all the boys in tonight. I'll start off with Lucas. How are you doing after that rubbish, mate? I thought we was looking at tonight.
Yeah, if we didn't score 3 goals, I probably would have been a little more worried. But, you know, at the end of the day, no matter who you're playing, you'll always take, I guess, a 2-goal differential on your trek to Denmark. So,
yeah,
not really pleased, but we'll take it, I guess.
Tom, welcome back, son.
Yes.
What do you think of that tonight, mate?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but that was piss poor. I was not at all pleased with that performance. Yes, we won. That's the main thing. Obviously, as Lucas said, you take your 3 goals to Denmark, but I'm not impressed with that at all. Was impressed with certain players when they ended up coming onto the pitch, but there's a few first teamers in there that just once again looked woeful, and it's just the intensity tonight. It just was not there.
Yeah, I agree.
Not pleased, but anyway, there we go.
Yeah, I agree. Mitch, what did you think of that, mate?
Yeah, pretty poor. I'm quite happy though, purely because, well, at least we got the result, because I was still nervous that, you know, anything could happen, especially the way we've been playing anyway. And at least it was clinical for once. Like that's the main positive I've taken from the game. We've been really struggling to create chances second half of last season and at the start of this season so far, but the fact we actually created more and was a lot more clinical tonight was very good, and I was happy about that.
Yeah. I must admit, I agree with every one of you about what you've said. For me, we look flat. We look passive. We look tame. We don't look like there is something missing with West Ham. I don't know what it is yet. It's bugging me, bugging the life out of me. Yeah,
mate. It's more so. I think the tactics. I think we're playing down the wing way too much. We just force it down the wing, and mate, it doesn't take a genius to work it out. You know what I'm going to say anyway.
Mitch, it's only took you 2 minutes and 50 seconds to say it. Go on, spit it out,
mate. I'm going to say it's true. When you've got Souček in midfield, when he does nothing, he contributes nothing to the team when going forward, you're going to struggle to do things. We were struggling to kind of build up play. It was sideways, backwards all the time. And then when we was in our own half, we struggled to get it out because Souček takes up a spot. It's like we're playing with 10 men when we're trying to break teams down. He doesn't offer himself to the ball at all. And his first touch today, I was laughing quite a bit at his performance today. I thought it was embarrassing. Souček.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Let's start off with this, and I'll start off with Effers. Give me a player, Effers, that was positive tonight, in your opinion. One player that you thought.
That was it. I mean, look, listen, there was some good individual performances. I was impressed at times with Ashby, especially in the first half, maybe not so much the second half. I thought Benrahma, when he came on, was the only one that actually showed a bit of bite, the only one who actually looked to cut to the byline and make something happen. Cornet, I think, was a little bit unlucky just because he just wasn't getting the ball played into him enough in the first half. I thought same with Bowen, and I know I said it to you at half time in the chat. It was just missing a good 10 that can link the play up. Again, Scamacca, decent performance. His first touch and his sort of first ball was a little bit all over the place, but that's something I'm sure will come with time. Really pleased he got his goal, but like I said, there was just no bite from players. It was just like a glorified friendly. It felt like half the time. Whether or not that was, you know, the fans not being in the stadium and, you know, not having a good enough atmosphere tonight, I don't know. But I especially seeing the first 2 games of the season and some of the players that were playing tonight that maybe wanted to show an impact. I thought from minute 1 we'd be into the first tackle. pressing them from the front, quick passing side to side because they were trying to collapse and make the pitch very narrow at times, and there was always an overlap on one side, and there was just none of that, you know. I just thought it was very, very boring to watch. I did not enjoy watching that game. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that we've got a 3-1 win. That's not the problem. I expected the performance to be a little bit better tonight, and I'm shocked that it took Benrahma and Fornals, who was also bright in parts when he came on, except the guy cannot take a corner to beat the first man to save his life. But I'm shocked it took until like the 65th, 70th minute to go and them to score, to actually put a little bit of effort into the game. And we saw that from obviously Benrahma when he...
let's be honest, at 2-1 up, I was fearing, mate. I was
going to get back into it at 2-2 because they look dangerous from set pieces. You know, I
was thinking, how the hell has this gone like this? Like,
and they were so fluid. They passed the ball extremely well.
I was quite shocked at how well they were set up, and how, as you said, some of the times when we would press and they would break through the press. And
their goalkeeper was passing like Xavi. I'm not even kidding. He was insane.
It just
that one press that they had, or the one press we had, and they just played it 3 passes and back to the goalkeeper and just so nonchalant, just played it out to the left wing. I was like, did they really just do that?
I think for me, it's more just like, if you can win that game in that manner, 3-1, and you don't have to get out of second gear, I'd just like to have seen what first gear would have been like tonight, because I think we could have scored more. I just don't think that there was that intensity going forward. But clearly, obviously, you know, Benrahma's got brought some faith back from David Moyes. Obviously, there was some comments came out today.
He brought some fucking pace, didn't he? Where's that pace come from?
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
But he's obviously brought some credit with David Moyes, because I read an article earlier that he wants to keep him around because he sees him as a bit of an indispensable player. You know, because he was pleased with his performance at Forest the other day, and he's playing with confidence. And you know, he was the only one that looked like he was doing that there out tonight. But the only other thing, and I'll shut up in a second, was I'm not a fan of Coventry and Souček playing together. I was a fan in parts of some of the stuff that Coventry was doing, but having Souček next to him just let him down, I think. I would have loved to have seen Downs and Coventry start tonight. But once again, in a team that is literally, you know, probably half of them have got part-time jobs back in Denmark, and Souček looked like one of the worst players on the pitch. It's just a disgrace.
He's bad.
He was the worst player on the pitch.
I might also come to Lucas. Your positive player, Lucas, for tonight's game.
Maxwell Cornet.
I agree.
What an
100%.
absolute man.
Yeah,
I
love him.
He looked tremendous tonight. Apart from his 5-6 offsides that he had, he looked absolutely. He looked absolutely tremendous. And me and Mitch were talking about it. It looks like he's been playing with us for a little while. He didn't seem to really credit to Mitch on that.
I'll be honest. I fucking love the geezer already. I love his work rate.
His intuition in some of the moves he was doing, like his little fake passes when Soufal was overlapping. Whoo, just absolutely beautiful. And what I loved today, especially with the first goal that he assisted with, what I absolutely loved was he didn't just run down the flank and blindly whip the ball in for a cross. He looked up, did a step over, did another step over, and then he looked up, he crossed the ball in. He just didn't wallop it on in there.
I think that highlighted for me today, though, is how much we need a left back. Just the amount of times that Soufal was overlapping, but just either wanted to cut back onto his right foot or would just sort of end up in an offside position. But
I've got to be honest.
It excites me for potentially. I've seen tonight enough of Cornet that I think, do you know what? In some
has
games
to start on Sunday.
Yeah, but in some games, but then again, well, yeah, I guess it's, you know, Benrahma sort of 4-0 and then Cornet out wide. But it excites me then when we play potentially against other teams that we maybe need to match up with a back five, because Kehrer actually looked quite good as well. He looked comfortable.
That tackle he had later in the match where he just sprinted all the way back and just put one in.
But to have Kehrer, Aguerd, Zuma, and either Soufal Johnson or Cornet as a left wing back, I think could actually work quite well. Because it was just, if only they'd have upped that intensity, I think even Cornet could have found himself on the score sheet tonight, and he nearly scored with that bloody overhead kick as well, didn't he? So
I've got to be honest. I've got to say this comment here is bang on. Cornet weren't responsible for the offsides. We were playing too slow. It was slow. We was passive. Like it was like sideways and back football.
Completely disagree.
Well, you always do, Mitch. So that's why you're
Skamaka
always...
had a shot and Cornet was well offside. Like, that's his fault.
Yeah, but one of them, Mitch. There
Yeah,
were about
but
5.
Yeah, he said he wasn't responsible for any of them.
Well, all right. Maybe,
but I
maybe
would
Scott got
say-
it wrong once.
I would
You know what I'm
say
saying?
I would say Cornet was my pick, and I'm sure we'll get
Yeah.
on to who we'll find disappointing. But Maxwell Cornet, what a man. Love him.
Yeah. Mitch, I ain't going to ask who your negative player is, because we all know that is. Let's go for your positive one.
No. It's not negative. Disappointed. I'll give my disappointing player.
Right. Give us your positive player first. We'll do positivity first before we do the negative shit.
I would. I was really. I don't know. I'm 50-50. I probably would have just said Cornet, but because they've already said Cornet, that Lucas already said Cornet, I'll say Bowen. I thought Bowen was decent, showed more energy today, looked more up for it, was more direct.
He looked like a man on
Wasn't
fire
happy
today.
coming off. Was not happy coming off.
Yeah, he wasn't happy coming off.
And then
I
that
don't know what the talking
celebration
thing's
is-
all about. Yeah. I think I don't know if that's
Me
even
and
about
Mitch were
him
talking. We
last
don't
week.
know. We don't know what
He's
that's
It's
about.
either-
been watching his
about
channel.
his-
He's been watching
It's
his
either
channel.
That's what
about
I'm
his recent
saying.
form or his links to Arsenal, maybe.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's the Arsenal talk. I think he knows we haven't been too impressed.
I think
with
it's
him the
just
first two
I
matches.
think it's just people been slating him the last couple of weeks.
And rightfully so, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Danny must be back from holiday. I love the man.
She's coming back soon, I think. Thanks, fuck.
So he's your
Um,
positive player then, Mitch.
Doesn't play is Bowen.
Yeah. My one, before we get to the negatives, is I agree with Lucas 100%. I fucking love Cornet, mate. I really do. I like this kid. He's direct, he's pacey, he's good
He
with
makes
both
me
feet.
happy.
And do you know what? The best thing about the whole thing, he can play anywhere along that front line. He played left wing, he played right wing. I think he's a
And he's
bargain,
got
mate.
fucking pace. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All we need to do now, really, is play balls over the top, like, and down the sides for him to run onto. We didn't see enough of that tonight. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
But let's get to the negative. Right? Should I start with Mitchell? Fuck me. I know what's coming, but Mitch, who's your negative player for tonight, son?
Negative. I knew Suchek was by far worst player. And, mate, he's a cunt. Suchek is a cunt. I know
James,
I
you
don't
know
like
when
him
you
anyway.
get to 1,000 subscribers, you're going to have to fucking tell Mutual not to use that word because you're just not going to make money from your videos.
If we fucking come out of his
He's a
pocket.
He's getting it all out now. Don't worry.
Suchek is still living now. Like, it's getting beyond the joke. He's starting every game for us. He's going to start Sunday. And how he's still starting for us, it's a fucking disgrace. I'm not going to say too much more than that. Epic, go fuck yourself. The most disappointing player for me was Skamaka and Ashby. I thought I was really disappointed in him too. I thought Ashby had the right idea, but his execution was shocking. Like, I don't think he must have.
He had a good shot
must have
in the second
I
half.
think as well he wasn't helped with, for me personally, is the lack of intensity as well, because I see him as like a bit of a marauding fullback that wants to get forward, that wants to go on that overlap, but there was just none coming back his way when he tried to do that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I agree.
I still really like the look of him because again his offensive output is 10 times what Johnson's is, and I still really like the look of him. You know, tonight I just think if you give him a competent back four and a team that with Declan Rice in it that actually wants to carry the ball forward and make that extra pass or something, I think he looks much better in that position than Johnson for me. And I think Skamaka again, I think he'll take time to grow into it. And yes, his first touch tonight and his first ball that he would try to play or lay off sometimes, it wasn't great. But getting that goal for him is going to be so crucial just for that. And the fact that him and Cornet seem to link up as well was brilliant. And the one thing I will say, about Skamaka was, with him, I see a much more intelligent striker than Antonio. One that if he's pressing, he's constantly pointing and moving and saying, right, well, you need to be here to press here. I want you here to do it. I don't see any of that sometimes for Antonio. He's just very reckless in what he does. But Skamaka he's a lot more intelligent in A, the runs he makes, and
he's
B,
very on the move all the time.
Yeah,
Skamaka. Whereas Antonio is very stationary sort of thing. I know what you're saying. I do.
I think he will get into. I think he will grow into, especially in the next sort of few weeks. If he actually gets if he starts now against Brighton, I think you'll see that. But I doubt he will, for the fact that bloody Antonio went and scored tonight. But
Who was your negative player tonight, Tom?
I won't say Souček because I just didn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm more disappointed with that. I say for me, I'll probably go with Lanzini. Again, he just didn't do anything realistically in that first
Yeah,
half.
good shot.
He just didn't. Again, this is what I was sort of saying. I really want a decent 10 because again, there was just you're the creative midfielder in the middle of the park. Yes, he was all over the place in the first half. Yes, he was, at least trying to press at some points and stuff. But there was just, and again, it may be because it was Souček with Coventry, but there was just no connect between Souček, Coventry, and then Lanzini getting the ball into the final third. He wasn't there making an impact.
Does he slow the game down too much, West Ham, Lanzini, for you?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't think he slows it down. I just don't think he's direct enough.
It's such a shame, and I do feel for him, and I think he should be a squad player. I don't want to get rid of him, and I do feel awful for him because let's not forget before that ACL injury how good he was, but he's just not ever got back to that level. He's just lost that turn of pace. That just he just doesn't look the same player, and he just for me, yes, David Moyes likes him and he relies on him a bit, but I think there was a lot more of an impact from Fornals when he came on than Lanzini. But even then, I mean, all Fornals had to do was run a little bit more and pass.
He would look good in La Liga, but the athleticism for the Premier League is not there.
I think it should be his last season.
I'm just disappointed in him tonight. I think we can upgrade in that position with him. And I would like to see at the weekend. I know we'll probably end up getting onto it, but I would like to see a front three of Bowen, Benrahma as the 10, and then Cornet on the left. Because again, I think they're all quite interchangeable with where they can play.
And we're at home. We should be on top of them.
I agree.
Yeah, but we will get to that shortly. Lucas, negative player of the night. You.
I agree. I'm not gonna say Souček, even though I thought he was by far the worst player on the pitch tonight. His first touch was absolutely the worst I've ever seen. And I know Mitch could probably point me to loads of other matches, but tonight for me was the worst I've seen in terms of first touch, his control on the ball. He may have had a 94% pass accuracy, but he just I can't even get into it. But
if he
for
wasn't
me,
a professional footballer tonight, I wouldn't have been surprised.
For me,
I'm not joking.
I think Mitch is going to go with I'm not going to say his name. We were both discussing who we were excited to watch tonight, so I'm going to go with mine. Even though I'm not disappointed isn't the word, but Connor Coventry for me, I didn't think he was bad tonight, but I think his physicality let him down a lot.
Yeah.
If he would have been more physical tonight, or if he was stronger, I think he would have had a very solid match tonight. But his physicality let him down and led to a lot of errors. The one situation where I think he got fouled, but basically he gave the ball away and they had a shot on target. Good.
The new Football London reporter has just put his player ratings out. Obviously, that position seems to have changed quite a lot because it was what Sam Ingersoll the other year, and then some bloke with a hat last year, and now it's somebody else.
Tom Clark, absolute legend.
He's given Lanzini a 6, and he's given Fornals a 5, which I
would say for me Coventry, just because his physicality let him down, and if you're not going to be physical, I mean, it's weird. They're Nordic, they're Scandinavians, they are naturally strong Vikings, whatever. But his physicality let me down tonight, and I think if he was a bit stronger or played a bit harder, I think he would have been one of the better players on the pitch tonight. Because I thought his first touch was good, his passing was solid, in my opinion.
Would you like to hear what he said about Souček, Mitch?
I want to hear all the player ratings, Tom. If you can read them all out for us, right. And then we'll hear what he wants to say about Souček. Then I'll get to my bit.
All right,
on,
we'll get A's and A's.
Right, Areola 7, Ashby 6, Ben Johnson 6, Ogbonna 6, Soufal 6, Coventry 6, Bowen 7, Lanzini 6, Souček
No.
7,
No.
Cornet 7, Starman, Scamacca 7, Fornals 5,
Fucking
Kera 6,
hell.
Antonio 7, and a Benrahma 7.
What did he give
And what he
Cornet?
said,
Fucking hell.
He
he
gave
gave
Cornet a
Cornet
7.
Star man.
And what he said about Souček was the Czech Republic international Thomas Souček was really good in the heart of midfield at getting the dirty work done.
Jesus.
Often recycling possession for the host, allowing them to get the ball back and
No,
attack quickly, which we didn't do all
no,
game.
no.
Had half a chance to score when heading Yusufo across on target. Really solid defensively, needed in Rice's absence.
What's his
Fucking
name?
hell.
I don't think he'll be in the job very long if he puts out stuff like that.
Fucking hell, mate. I can't believe what I've heard. Go on, Mitch.
The
There you go.
anger is more channeled towards the. Honestly, the anger isn't so much channeled towards Souček. It's more channeled towards Moyes and the people out there that still believe. The people that still give Souček a fucking 7 for tonight's performance.
There is no way.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Well, why are you?
He's a
Why are
retard.
you
He's a
calm down?
spastic.
Fuck me. Why are you calm down, bro? For a minute.
Mate,
I'm
I
gonna-
can't. It
I'm gonna
infuriates me.
get to
He's still
my,
going to start Sunday. Oh,
I'm going to get to my negative player. I agree with Lucas on this one. Me and Lucas are on the same wavelength tonight. Connor Coventry, for me, was very lightweight in midfield. For how good, I was expecting a lot more from him. I've watched Connor quite a lot when he's been in the under-23s for a good few years and see him literally grow up. And for me, I'm disappointed. I thought I was expecting him to run the show.
That was my only knock tonight on him. Besides that, I thought he ran around the pitch. He knew exactly where to be. He knew what he was doing. His passing was solid, in my opinion. Just the physicality really let him down tonight.
Like Jules wise, Jules, man on man, he did get bullied, mate.
And I do want to be just a little bit fair to him. They had some fucking units in their side tonight. Some absolute giants.
They're big boys.
Big lads.
but he could have got stuck in more though. Like he didn't put his presence about.
Yeah, he could have done.
It was weird because at times I'd like to actually see like the average positions, because at times it was the front three, and then it was sort of almost Souček and then either Fornals or Lanzini as the two in the middle, and then Coventry was the deeper of all of them. I think. If
it was Downs and Coventry tonight, I think we would have done not a lot better, but we would have looked better. I think
100%.
I am a bit shocked. Before I move on to the Premier League predictions, I'm a bit shocked why Dan's only got 10 minutes.
Maybe it's weird.
I didn't get. That
I'm more shocked that there's a West Ham fan that's given Fornals a 5 and Souček a 7.
And Lanzini a 6.
That's out of this world.
That's what's mad. Anyway, let's move on from that 3-1 win. Let's move on to the Premier League prediction. Let's start with this game. Saturday, 12:30, Spurs versus Wolves. Tom, I'll let you go first on this one. What do you reckon?
Yeah, obviously, big signing for them this week, getting Nunez in. They haven't scored yet this season, I don't think. Wolves, have they?
They did. They scored at Leeds. First game of the season. Yeah. It was 2-1, wasn't it?
It was 2-1. Yeah, all right. I'm not convinced on them, especially the fact they needed a striker in Jimenez to come back. So for me, I think again Spurs. I'll keep banging on the Spurs drum, unfortunately, but they were crap against Chelsea. Like, they were woeful, and they didn't deserve the goal that came back. But to say that they did stay in that game and actually get a result is probably good news for them. So I think Romero's out for a couple of weeks. So I guess Sanchez will probably come in for them.
That goal at the end was scandalous.
It was, but I expect that they'll. I think 3-1 Spurs. I think that's, for me, the easy, probably one of the banker results this weekend, I think.
Yeah. Great bet on William Hill. £10 max bet. Spurs to win, even money. So if you fancy a punt, easiest 10 you could ever win. Mitch, what do you reckon?
2-0 Spurs.
Yeah. 2-0 Spurs for Mitchell. Short and sweet, like it. Lucas.
You need to stop going to him first. 2-0 Spurs.
I'm going to go.
I love you just sit in the corner there like.
I will swap it around. I'm going 3-0. I don't think they concede. I think Wolves will come forward, but nothing there, mate, for me. So yeah, 3-0 Spurs. Moving on to this one: Crystal Palace versus Villa.
Cracking match
Palace.
here.
Palace done well the other night against Liverpool. I've got to be honest. I was quite shocked, really. I don't know whether Liverpool were crap or Palace were good, but
Palace was terrible.
I thought Palace was all right, mate. They stayed in the game.
I don't know. They had one chance. I thought they were really poor. I thought they were absolutely dominated.
No, they should have won the game, mate. Palace.
Oh no,
Easily should have won the game.
Huh?
They should have won the game in the end. When they had 10 men, Palace. So I missed a sitter at the end.
Oh, I don't know. They're chances, but I thought Liverpool were far better.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they've done all right. I must admit. Lucas.
Defensively, they were superb. I thought.
Yeah.
Palace.
I think this is going to be an absolute banger of a match. Two sides with some quality. Crystal Palace look good. Aston Villa. They look so Aston Villa. Bang average after bringing in all these players. I don't expect
Carlos
anything
is out
less
for the
from them.
season. He's ruptured his Achilles.
Who?
Diego Carlos is out for the year. He's ruptured his
You're
Achilles.
joking.
No, he ruptured
No,
his
serious.
Achilles the other day.
For the year.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Prayers to him. That is unbelievable. Palace at home, absolute fortress. 2-1. 2-1.
2-1. I'm going 2-0 to Palace. I think Palace will do Villa. I really do. I think there's a lot of in-house stuff, and I do agree with West Ham Online that he says about Gerrard that he's a bit of a fraud. I do make him right now. I'm starting to see something there where he's a bit iffy, to say the least. And I think Patrick Vieira, on the other hand, is a good manager, and he does set up pretty well with his team. So
people love to say, like, he's going to be good because he won a fucking trophy in Scotland. That's a bunch of bollocks. It's the same with Ten Hag. I don't give a fuck what he done in Netherlands, Holland, whatever you prefer.
I love
to say.
it, Lucas.
This is the Premier League.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 2-0. Tom?
Yeah, Scott Venn's beat me to it. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the bright spot for Palace, I think Joachim Andersen, all of a sudden, he was ridiculous. It's like his diagonal balls. I remember, a couple of years ago when he was still at Spurs, Toby Alderweireld, he used to just some of the crossfield passes he used to ping and create chances for him. And it was the same thing the other night for them. I think obviously came from Joachim Andersen for them. So I'm really impressed with him. But for me, again, both sides are just. I don't know. They're just lacking in something. I'm not sure what it is. I don't see Palace scoring many goals this season. Villa again. They just looked a bit. They just looked a bit all over the place at times the other day. I think they should have probably comfortably beaten Everton because they really weren't looking to offer anything until what's his face came on for them. The bloke we were chasing. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. I say 1-1 or 2-2, but I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah. Mitchell.
Tough one. Can't call it. Villa have got to make their stand at some point this season.
It'll be against us in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, good point. I'll go 1-0.
1-0 for Mitchell. Moving on to this. Everton versus them. Them who we hate. Nottingham Forest. I'll start off with Mitchell on this one. What do you reckon, mate?
This might be the worst match of the weekend.
I reckon 1-0 Everton.
I'm actually going. I think Everton. This is one of a really good bet for the weekend. Everton. I think they're even money to beat this team. I think eventually they're going to click.
Even money to beat Forest.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And for me, I think that's a good price for a team, especially at home against Forest, mate.
What's funny?
So I'm going 2-0 Everton. Lucas.
Punt of the weekend right here. Absolute punt of the weekend. 0-0 draw. These two teams are shit.
Forest, they'll concede, I think.
0-0.
draw. Tom.
Exacto.
I don't know how I follow it up after those two. It'd be interesting to see what Everton do with Anthony Gordon, whether or not he plays. Obviously, amid the Chelsea interest, I cannot believe that someone like him would go for 50 million, which is just mad.
The game is gone. The transfer market has gone.
It
Everything
has.
is
All
gone.
the numbers fun
Here you
about
go,
that.
look. Here you go, lads. We've got an Arsenal fan. Look, loves their content.
Yeah, I'm about to wax lyrical about
Hate the
Arsenal in a
fucking
minute.
Gunners.
Oh, there you go. But I thought, Onana, yes, he lost possession for them in the build up to Villa's second, but he looked very lively. Sort of for the back end of that. Actually, was the only player that actually tried to create something out of the game for him. Saying that again, Forest, when we played them, they were good in spells last weekend, but at times it just looked bang average. I mean, that striker, that was the only way he was going to score was for a goal like that, because I thought he looked... How he scored 15 goals in the Bundesliga last year, I'll never know.
Souček's first touch tonight was worse than his, and that's saying a lot.
Something, yeah. But
it was, yeah.
Also, their owner is, I mean, again, 45
He's mad,
million
isn't he, Tom?
He's got to be...
I cannot believe that.
That's unreal.
Today.
That's an unreal figure.
That is, I think it makes me laugh just because I keep thinking of that. What's his face from Leeds saying,
Peter Ridsdale, I see.
Yeah, when he says, he goes, should we have spent so heavily in the past? Probably not.
But we lived the dream.
But we lived the dream. That's exactly what I feel like here with these if they go down.
Fucking hell, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Everton 2-1. I think they need a result. And I think Forest. I was shocked we lost the other day because again, yes, they can have all the midfielders they want in the world, but defensively, they weren't good in parts. So I'll give Everton the advantage this weekend. I'll say 2-1 Everton.
Is that everyone? Everyone said.
What'd you say?
I think 60 million for Casemiro.
I said 2-0 Everton. I think Everton will
get
win
those
this game.
bets in, people. 0-0, exact.
Yeah. Moving on to my other.
Say, James, 0-0.
2-0 Everton for me. This is my bet of the weekend by a long way. Brentford against.
That was your half-12 bet on Saturday.
Nah, this is my bet of the weekend. Fulham versus Brentford. Well, I'll go first on this one. I think Brentford are massively overpriced at 15-8, 2-1 in places against a team where they've got a good record against Fulham in certain games. Yeah. Now, for me, I look at them last week against Manchester United. I know they fluked the first goal, but they destroyed Man United. Like literally smothered them all over the place. And I look at their players they've got. They've signed some good players, Brentford. Norgard, I think he's who's the geezer in midfield? A Danish midfielder. Is it Norgard? Is it?
Norgard.
Yeah, Norgard. That's the man.
Which one? Norgard, Damsgaard.
They've got like all these Danish players in there. But Norgard's the man I'm thinking of. I think he's fucking excellent, mate. I'd love him at West Ham. I really would. I think Brentford win this game, and I'm going to say. I'm actually going to say 2-1 Brentford on this one. So that's me. Mitch.
2-1 Brentford.
Fair enough, Mitch. Tom.
I want to give Fulham the benefit of the doubt because I actually think that they've made some decent signings this year. But just because I hate them and I want them back in the Championship because they're a stupid yo-yo club, I'll say 2-1 Brentford. I don't think you can back against them after the game against United because, like you said, after that first goal went in, they just absolutely bopped them off the park. So, I'll say 2-1 Brentford. I really like football that Thomas Frank plays with them. I think they're a good side. I'd say 2-1 Brentford.
Lucas.
I actually think this is going to be a very good match, and I think there's going to be a lot of goals. And I'm going to go 3-2 Brentford.
Fair enough, mate. Get your bets on that. Moving on to this game. Leicester versus Southampton. If we all go back a few years ago, do you remember when Leicester banged this team at St Mary's? 8 or 9, 8-0, wasn't it? Or 9-0 or something like that. Let's start off with you, Tom. What do you reckon on this one?
Leicester are shambles at the moment, aren't they?
Alfie, get your money out. I told you, bottom half.
I listened. Well, Fofana potentially on strike. But I don't know. They just don't look good this season, Leicester, do they? We both said, I don't know about, I can't remember what Mitch and Lucas said, but I'm still quite firm in my belief that if they lose for Fana potentially, that they finish in the bottom sort of 6 or 7 teams. I do, however, agree with Scott. I think Maddison's looked fantastic. He's just a brilliant player. Fantastic player for them. But I'm going to say 2-2 again. Southampton. They come back a couple of times already, haven't they, this season? And Joel Aribo looks a very good signing for them. So yeah, I'll say 2-2. I'm just it's probably a shaky time to be a Leicester fan. I can't lie.
I'll go next. I thought Leicester the other day, or 2 weeks ago when they played Brentford, I thought, I've really done a fucking drop to bollock here when they went 2-0 up. I was coasting. And then Brentford come back and got a 2-2 draw. I watched them against Arsenal. They looked good in spells of the game, but Arsenal just far better. For me, I do fear for this team. I really do this year. And I know we had the debate of 2 weeks ago, and I'll never forget it because I managed to get a bet out of Alfie, but I do think Leicester will finish bottom half this year. I don't think they're nowhere near a top 10 side, not with all the sort of in-house stuff what's going on there. So I think they win this game, though. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say 2-1 Leicester. I think Leicester will get the job done, get their first win of the season. Mitchell?
I reckon 3-1 Leicester.
And why is that, Mitch?
Just because I think they'll score goals, and I think Southampton defensively are poor. They're at home as well. Defensively, Derby with shambles. I do think they'll win. If I had to say 2 scores, I'd say 3-1 and 3-2. But Southampton, I think they're just shit as well. They've got a few decent players, but as a team, they're just really off it.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker-Peters, I think he's an absolutely superb player. It's a shame. I'd love him at West Ham, actually. If Southampton was to go down next season, and obviously Soufal's getting on a bit, and he may not be the best.
Would you rather have Ward-Prowse or Kyle Walker-Peters if they were to go down?
I would rather have.
That's a good one. That's a good question, Lucas.
You know what? I'd rather have Kyle Walker-Peters purely because I think there's a lot more wider options out there for midfield. I don't think there's many good right backs out there in this day and age. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is very good. It's tough. It's very tough one. You have to ask me at the end of the season because it could change.
Lucas?
2-1 Leicester. I think even though Leicester's defense is absolutely shit, Southampton's is more shit, and they have no creativity. And Leicester at home, I think Vardy scores a brace.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vardy's going to turn up the weekend. But we move on to this one. 5:30 kickoff. 5:30 kickoff for Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Am I going to lose this bet this year, Tom, or what? Because Arsenal are flying at the minute. Yeah. I'll let you go first on this one. What do you reckon?
Yeah, Arsenal, they look unstoppable at the moment. I still don't agree with West Ham Online and his thoughts about Arteta and
it's Arteta propaganda.
Yeah,
I might nearly be better than Luis Diaz.
Yeah, listen, I think I will say one thing. Having watched most of the Arsenal All or Nothing and stuff, I feel sorry for Edu because he copped a lot of flack from them last year, their fans. Yeah. Not necessarily that Arteta is a fantastic manager yet, but I think that actually as a club they bought really, really well. And they improved their starting 11 massively. I think Zinchenko's been a breath of fresh air for them. Jesus is going to obviously score plenty of goals now. He's their number 9.
I think Saliba's been a good sign.
Yeah, listen, I'm shocked that they've let him out on loan the last couple of years because last season for Marseille he was mustard. So
would it have been as good as if he did go out on loan?
Potentially not. That's always the argument, isn't it? If he needed that first team football, but he's a big boy, and I think obviously he's massively improved them. But then again, it's an Arsenal team that have had to deal with the likes of Per Mertesacker and Mustafi for the last few years, so anything's probably better for them. But
David Luiz.
Exactly. So, but attacking wise, I think they look very fluid. They look very good. Just probably waiting for Saka to join in with the party now. He's the only one that's not scored, I don't think, out of them front lot. So, yeah, I think Arsenal will win 3-0, potentially, maybe 4. I thought Bournemouth the other week against City, they just much what we did, which was just not a lot of anything. So it's a difficult start to the season for them because I think they've got Liverpool afterwards, Bournemouth or something like that. So yeah, I'll say 3 or 4-0 to Arsenal. I think they're on the crest of a wave, and the fact that I'm captaining Jesus this week means that he needs to actually score some goals again. So yeah,
Mitchell.
Oh, mate, good shot. Oh, yeah, I need to captain him. Yeah, 3-0 Arsenal. How bad?
3-0 Arsenal. Lucas.
2-0 Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, not the greatest tactician, but he's a very good manager. He needs to work on his metaphors, though. They're shit.
I do like his drawing on like what he's doing on these boards and all that, drawing a heart and a brain and shit like that. But it is what it is.
Edison created the light bulb. We need to get our friction together and light up this pitch.
Yeah, watch it back, Mitch. I'm going to say 3.
I haven't watched it, and I'm not going to fucking watch it.
Oh, well, you got to watch it, son. You got to watch it. I'm going to say 3-1.
I can't stand the club. It stinks, the core. And I'm just,
it should be listed under comedy because it is fucking hilarious.
I must admit.
I just can't.
He's actually quite good, I've got to be honest.
I hate Arsenal nowadays.
I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1 to the Arsenal. I think they do concede one in this game. I think because Bournemouth are always decent at home. One thing I will say about that team is they seem to score goals at home. Like away from home, then I agree, but at home they're pretty all right.
Better play.
I think the better thing for me is if Arsenal, what I hope this season, because I am in the camp with Mitch. I'm not a fan of Arsenal per se, but I want them to just win and get to the point where at the moment they think they're winning the league, which is fantastic. So just keep them on that crest of a wave, and then after January, just shit them back out again, so that
like last season, like
the
best thing for Arsenal is just to get their hopes up so high, and then for it to just all go wrong.
I kept forgetting that the All or Nothing was filmed last season, and no offense to the nice Arsenal supporters in our chat and some that I do know, but that absolute downfall at the end of the last season was beautiful to watch
Kieran
on TV.
Tierney fell in the shower. He slipped in the shower, didn't he? And that's how he done his knee.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why they say that he missed out on top. That was getting out. That was at the training ground as well.
That's mad, honestly. That really was. So 3-1.
Also, I have to mention this real quick. The only thing I did not like about All or Nothing, Mikel Arteta
was seeing you 3 times.
He refused to put any accountability on Xhaka or anyone that got a red card.
Okay, Mitch
it was
is not
disgusting.
happy. Let's move on quickly.
Let's go.
Let's get it done. Big game, Yorkshire. Fucking hell, there's going to be some fighting up there on the weekend.
We all ain't need scum. We all ain't need scum.
Mitch, I might start off with you, mate.
Oh, how
what do you reckon
dare
of this one?
You bastard! You don't come to the Leeds.
I'll leave you till last, man.
Mate, Leeds are not fair away days. Nah, on this game, I can 1-0 Chelsea.
Oh,
Lucas?
It'll be tight. Oh, by the way, quickly, I was thinking something a minute ago. I honestly, it just popped in my head. Why did we play Kera a defensive midfield?
I know. Yeah, I know, mate.
Ooh, that's one for ya. Oi!
Because he can play there, but we'll talk about West Ham shortly. Lucas?
We all know why I like Leeds. I like Leeds before any of this Americanization happened.
Excuse me, you love them because of me.
It's not because of you, but I do love you. Leeds United States of America. Do like it. Leeds still in defense, not that great.
Yeah.
Chelsea, I think, will take advantage of that. I'm gonna go 2-0. 2-0 to Chelsea.
I'm gonna go. I think this is going to be a great game. I really do. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea. I think Chelsea will score 3 goals. I think Mason Mount, I just see someone there say about Mount. He loves scoring against Leeds. So that'll be another one of my little punts. Him to score any time against Leeds. 3-1 for me. Tom?
all aboard the American dream is all I'm saying. I listen. I just
Marching
like,
To
on
me, it's more
together.
like that.
yeah.
Like an American dream.
I listen.
You're gonna have to
Jesse
go to
Marsh.
Eastern
I'm-
Germany for that. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of Leeds, of course. I listen. I think Chelsea win. I will say 3-1 as well. I think defensively Leeds are they're not the same without having Calvin Phillips, and also Stuart Dallas is a massive miss for them as well. And I don't think they'll be
Marching
back there.
on together.
So I don't think that they until they can maybe get Stuart Dallas back. I think they're still going to leak a few goals. I'll say 3-1 Chelsea, but the only thing that's probably stopping Chelsea this year from getting top 4 defensively, they look solid. I thought Cucurella the other day was brilliant for them. He's just gone into my fantasy team instead of Robertson, but
Oh, that's a man.
they need. No, it's
A
not
gunman.
because Robertson is not. He got subbed the other day for Simicast as well. He's not that good. So Cucurella into the fantasy team because Chilwell is not fully fit. But the biggest thing for Chelsea is they need a number 9, and without that, they are not getting top 4. Kai Havertz, I cannot believe he missed that goal the other day that Reece James assisted for him. He's got all the talent in the world, but he is not a number 9 for them. I listen 100%. If they do not get a number 9, they're not getting top 4. They're not got enough goals in them, unfortunately, for me. They just don't.
Listen, this is the most important question. Fuck Chelsea. Who's the one goal coming from Leeds?
From Leeds, I've just put Rodrigo in my team as well, so it probably have to be Rodrigo. But probably, do you know what? Just for you, Lucas, I'll say Brennan Harrison. How about that?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Love
Moving
that.
on.
He's
to
a
this.
baller, isn't he?
He is.
Newcastle
we don't this
United.
season, Leeds.
Right, the clash of the big monies. This is Liz.
No,
Mitch,
it's
what do you
not.
reckon?
No, it's not. It's Newcastle in a world of their own. I saw the thing earlier that if somebody took over Man United, it still boggles my mind that the sheikhs at Man City got a net worth or something of about 22 billion, and Newcastle's is 320 billion. It's just
Yeah, it is
fucking mad.
ridiculous.
it's
That's
Who's got the most oil?
Fucking, we've got most money. Mitch, what do you reckon?
I reckon it's be a better game than people think. I reckon 2-1 City. I think Newcastle are a very good side. I think they're very good.
Be honest, are you surprised that Newcastle haven't spent heavily this window? Like buying.
I'm happy. I'm happy
Yeah.
because they've been trying to nick all our signings, the fucking cunts. But yeah, I'm surprised, but I think they're still going to be a very good season. I think they're still guaranteed to finish top half, in my opinion. And could possibly challenge top 7, top 6. So it should be a good game, I reckon. Because I reckon 2-1.
2-1 for you, mate.
Although they
Tom,
could get caught out if they play a really high line and really try and take the team to City. Because then Haaland could just rape them.
yeah, I agree.
Fucking hell.
Lovely choice of words, Mitch. Tom,
Yeah,
Right.
no, quickly to answer
Right,
Scott. To quickly answer Scott then, I'm not. I had 2 free transfers I was holding on to. And the other one I took out was Leon Bailey for Rodrigo, just for the bench. And then I've got some in the bank because Robertson was 7 mil and Cucurella was 5 mil. So I think Haaland's got to have a better game. He was just, to be fair, he should have got a goal the other day because Foden should have assisted to him.
he had 8 touches in the whole of that game.
Yeah, listen, and I remember
Still got an assist.
he did get an assist, and it was a very good assist as well. But I remember the other year when Sky Sports ruined poor Romelu Lukaku against Crystal Palace, and it was a very similar performance from him. So I think you're right. I think Newcastle, they're a decent side, and I think they're probably doing it wisely, in as much as maybe not just spending so much money at the moment and trying to do it a bit more organically. And I think Eddie Howe's a decent manager. So yeah, I'll say 2-1, maybe 3-1 Man City, because I think again that I don't think we're looking, or nobody's really mentioned it too much this year, maybe. But the 5 sub rule for City is just a joke because they just replace greatness with greatness, and it's difficult if you're having to throw on maybe the likes of what's his face in midfield, Longstaff or something, late on in the game, and they're bringing on Bernardo Silva and Mahrez and something. So, yeah. I'll say 3-1 City.
3-1 City for you. Lucas.
It's going to be a really good game. I'm going to predict Dan Burns to have 20 headed clearances. At least. I'm gonna go
Dan Burn to get sent off for just trying to go through the back of Erling Haaland.
I think it's booked, definitely.
I'm gonna go 1-0 City.
1-0 City. I'm gonna go 3-1 City. I think De Bruyne runs the show here again.
He's so good.
He
a
loves
Oh, I love it.
He loves scoring against Newcastle, I must admit. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 3-1. Kevin De Bruyne masterclass. Yeah, again.
Player.
Final game before we get to our one is this one. Only this little derby.
That's not going to go ahead, is it? By all accounts.
Why is that, Tom?
Because there's supposed to be a mass protest outside, and they're going to try and do what they did last time instead of getting into the ground. So apparently, this game, if they turn up and throw their dummy out the pram after spending billions of pounds over the last however long, then it may not go ahead. But if you read into it, apparently.
Wow.
But if it does, I'll say 5-1 Liverpool. Why not? I think United are there.
I love that.
They're just, Liverpool need to actually pull their finger out because they've had a pretty crap start to the season.
Well, there's no Nunes. He got sent off.
No, but you've still got Salah, Diaz. Just, for me, no.
Yeah. Jota coming back.
United, they're embarrassing at the moment. So obviously Casemiro, if he signs, probably ain't going to be there in enough time. So that doesn't even fix what they need anyway. So yeah, screw it. I'll go 5-1 Liverpool just because I love it when United are in trouble and their fans, after all the success they've had, it is just funny to see them there now because they just think it's a God-given right that they're in the top 4 every season, and I just fucking hate United fans. They are just they're up there with the worst in the league for me, and it would be good. I saw a tweet the other day. Sorry, last thing about them was that actually it's good for kids that are now grown up in London that they don't have a United team that are winning constantly, so they can actually fucking support a London club. I'm sick of seeing it, of London Reds constantly.
But now you see Manchester City fans in fucking London, so it's a bit different.
Do you know what? I don't care because I don't mind City so much, but just anything but United. They God-given right that they should be in the top 4, and it's just a.
We're gonna clip that. Remember that, lads. You know what I mean? Right, round of applause for Tom. Mitchell, what do you reckon?
6-0 Liverpool. Stick that in your notebook and fucking turn the page.
I will do, you bitch. Lucas.
I said this.
You bitch, Mitch. Ooh.
Oh,
Mitch the bitch. Go on, Lucas, take it away.
I know we're only 2 matches in. I know we're only 2 matches in, but I just want to reiterate and say my example of Ten Hag coming to the Prem is watching them play is just like when we were under Pellegrini. We look fucking beautiful playing the game, but we get fucking rumped every match.
Well, absolutely because he's not playing against Willems every single week.
No, but this is the thing. When we were under Pellegrini, we played beautiful looking football, but we got fucking pumped every week. We got pumped.
Because we couldn't defend.
Exactly. And this is reminiscent of that. And you're bang on the money, Tom. I mean, United support are horrible. I highly doubt that they protest because they're all fucking talk, no action. They're not going to do shit. And I'm going to go 14-0.
Do you know what sticks out to me more than anything is that clip's been resurfaced on my timeline so much this week, and it's that old bloke who's saying, "Yeah, I want to come back in a few years. You can clip it for me." Harry Maguire.
Fred,
I'd rather kept Chris Smalling.
Rick the Red. Rick the
Yeah.
Red.
I don't know. They
yeah.
kept Chris Smalling, Harry Maguire. He's rubbish, and,
He,
all the people
he talks
behind him
sense,
going,
mate. He
No,
talks
no.
sense.
I would
Well-
actually have some respect for United support if they actually protested, but they are all talk. They're not going to do it. They are a bunch of entitled, spoiled brats that don't take accountability for the things that they put in the air.
The massive,
Right.
massive problem for them, though, is genuinely you've got a set of defenders that are being asked to sit on the halfway line, and they are just not good enough to do that. They're just not. They're too slow. They're not good. And I mean, whoever was in charge of making that £50 million signing for Hasbulla
Martinez.
in defence is just ridiculous. He's so
Yeah,
small.
He's the smallest. He's going to be the smallest centre I've ever
And
seen.
I'll tell you what, Darwin Nunez is an idiot for getting sent off the other week because he would have feasted against them this weekend.
Right, my prediction: 3-0 Liverpool. I think it's going to be comfortable, maybe toxic in Manchester on that night. Yeah, Liverpool too good.
We got 6-1, 7-0, 14-0, and 3-1.
And a round of applause, lads. A round of applause for Tom. Well done, Tom. Well done, mate.
The only
Let it
thing
all
about
out,
Rick
son.
the Red is that it did say that Dan James was incredible and that Martial is like underrated and that.
I
time.
still
Fair-
cannot believe
fair
that
enough.
fucking club got
Yeah.
£30 million for Dan James. That needs to be investigated.
This is a game that we need to win. On
Can I
Sunday.
go first? Because I'm going to have to dip because I've just got to quickly go eat my dinner. It's late.
Go ahead.
You got a dip because you got a dip.
I've got not that kind of dip.
You fucking dip.
If we turn up like we did tonight against Brighton, they'll destroy us. There needs to be some sort of reaction from the first teamers. There was promise in some things tonight. Cornet's got to start. Benrahma's got to start for me. Bowen's got to start. Rice, what you do with the defensive midfield, I don't know. I think Kera's got to start. I think Zuma, Cresswell, unfortunately, Soufal or Johnson. Just anything. We just need a reaction. Break the Brighton curse. I know it's at home, but listen, they're another club. They've got a fantastic recruitment. I mean, the fact they sold Cucurella for 50 and then they brought that Purvis Estupinian that we were looking at the other year, I think is a brilliant bit of business. And they'll be right up for it. And there was a couple of them. There was a Japanese fella that come on last week that looked really
Brilliant.
good for them.
Really good.
Really good for them. So I just think we've got to turn up this weekend, and I think fans are going to get a little bit aggy if we lose this one, I think. So I'm going to say 2-1, but I think it's going to be a tough game because if we ever lose Moyes as a manager or he goes on to retire or anything, for me, Graham Potter would be the man to replace him. I think he's a brilliant manager. So, yeah, I'll say 2-1, but it could easily swing both ways with this one, I think.
He's one of those managers you need to pay him like a fucking luxury player if he's ever on the open market. Graham
We
Potter.
ain't beating Brighton 3-1. No way.
Tom, I'll let you go, mate. All right?
Yes.
Catch you later, man.
Laters, mate.
I'll go next on this one. I think this is a fucking must-not-lose game. Must not lose this game on.
But we
on,
You know, as an American, that's like the most unreal sentence of all time. Just because
yeah,
you
but
can't.
it is a must-not-lose, mate. Like, because
Because there's only winning and losing here. So,
yeah, but if we get a draw out of this game, I think, all right, fair enough. If we lose this game, then I am fucking worried, especially in the Prem.
No, we
I really
have to win. Have to win.
Yeah.
But we won't win. We'll either draw or lose.
2, 4, and 6, lads. 2, 4, and 6. That is our record against these fucking Seagulls.
Fucking hell.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to say.
Or 2, 6, and 4.
I'm going to go with my heart and say that we're going to do them 2-1. But my head is calling the fucking draw all day long, saying draw. So I'm going to say 2-1. Mitch, what do you reckon on Sunday, mate?
I reckon 2-1 Brighton. I think they've looked decent so far. We've not looked good enough. We're going to start with a bad lineup. It's guaranteed. Souček will start, and for that reason, we will lose the game. Or draw, possibly, but I think we'll lose.
Yeah, I fucking don't want to hear that.
We'll start the half. After the first half, will be awful, 100%. We may grow into the second half if we bring on substitutions in the second half, and the substitutions have a good impact. But Nah, it's
Yeah.
not going to be good enough.
What about you, Lucas?
Stat or correction on the numbers: we are 2-6-4 against Brighton in our last 12. I love being optimistic with this because we are better than them. We're better than them, but we never show it. Never, ever, ever. And most of the time it's because Graham Potter is an absolute mastermind. He's a phenomenal manager. He should be managing England. And that's not even funny.
Right.
And I have to echo Tom, if Graham Potter ever was in the open market to be hired as a manager, he would be my number one, and I would not be mad if we paid him I don't know how much Moyes makes or how much a manager usually makes, but I think Graham Potter should be paid a luxury to manage us.
Lucas,
what?
Here's a little scenario here.
Mm-hmm.
Say Moyes lost our next 2 games, and Potter openly said he wants a new challenge. Would you take him?
I mean, that sounds incredibly unrealistic, but no, probably not.
Fucking hell, that's an hard one for me. Because I look at Potter, I do think Potter could do a lot better at a bigger club with a bigger budget.
Oh, if Graham Potter was at Tottenham, and I hate to say this, they would challenge for the title.
Yeah.
I really do think that. He's that good.
Oh, man, I don't know about that. I think
I think he's a decent manager.
Challenge. They
I don't think better than
third.
Conte, though.
Mitch, I've never seen a manager. I just want to ask Lucas this quickly. Yeah, Lucas, what's your prediction before we get into it with Potter?
You got to go with the trusty 1-1.
1-1. I've got to ask you this though, Mitch. He has done fucking well. Look at the signings that he's brought in. Like Cucurella, I think they paid 7 million and got rid of him for 55 million.
But they've had a lot of low points though, and he was considered to be sacked at one point last season. You've got to remember that. So he still hasn't pushed.
You got to kind of back that with him though, because at the end of the day, his players on paper, I don't want to say the word shit, but they are really in the world of football. They are not that.
How many years has he been there, Potter? Now, 3, 4,
3 years. Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
and in that time, he still hasn't signed a gunman.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is though, Mitch, is Brighton are where would you say what would you class Brighton as? I class them as a mid-table side that
inbred club.
Fucking hell, mate! Is there anyone you like?
He doesn't like
yourself?
He doesn't like the South Coast.
I don't.
Fuck you hate the South Coast, mate. They would hunt you down and lynch you, bruv. 100%.
You know, I respect him, Mitch. I don't want to see that kind of fuckery in this world.
Yeah. No, but you got to be honest.
I saw the fucking inbreds in Bournemouth fingering his mum. I'll never get over that. Anyway,
That's
sorry.
grim. That's grim. No, but Mitch, you got to be honest though. He's done a really good job at Brighton, hasn't he?
Pardon? He's done a good job. He's done a good job, but again, he's never really pushed them up high.
But with his budget, he's
low. Yeah, I get that,
yeah.
but I don't get why I don't get the whole reasons. Obviously, I'm not a Brighton supporter, but I don't get the reasons why he's not signed as a proper striker from.
Yeah, but look at Danny Welbeck though, mate. He was
He's
wasted.
not really a striker. He plays on the left now, doesn't he?
But then saying that Mopé is like a striker that he's done well with. And I'll tell you what, the players that he has got though there, like Pascal Gross, is it? Trossard, them 2 players. Even that is it Moses Casada, is it? We've got
Casada, yeah.
Ecuadorian.
And Repu, yeah.
Well, I'm not being funny. They've got good players, and maybe they should be pushing higher. I agree. So I might as well ask you, what's going to happen on Sunday in regards to the team? Because this is the main thing.
Spelling. That's what you're saying?
Do you know what I mean? What's going to happen in regards to the team, mate, on Sunday?
I think, I reckon it's just going to be Antonio, Benrahma, Bowen, Fornals. Exactly the same team as what we played on Sunday, except Kera, I think, will play instead of Johnson.
Yeah.
And for me, that's unacceptable. That shouldn't be the same, but it's what it's going to be.
Does Cafell play for you then? Right back.
Yeah.
Got to.
What? So you would after Kufal last week, you wouldn't put Ben Johnson at right back.
No, because I don't think Johnson's good enough at right back. But so far, I thought he done all right today. I thought he done quite well. Give him a bit of positivity. But I tell you what, that thing I said earlier about Kera, like if we don't sign a defensive midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, or say we do sign a box-to-box midfielder and a left back, and then maybe a forward, and then we don't really have many defensive midfielders besides from Souček and Downs, then possibly when Aged comes back, Kera could go into that midfield spot next to Rice and do potentially really well because he's got the energy about him, Kera, and he's quick. He's decent on the ball as well.
And he said he could play there.
Yeah,
he can play there. So
he can play anywhere along the back line and as a six basically, so it's defensive midfield. What's your front four for Saturday?
My
Sunday,
front four would be Cornet, Skamaka, Bowen, Benrahma, Bash, and then so Rice, Downs, Cresswell, Kera, Zuma, Soufal, Fabs. That team would smoke Brighton, but we won't play that.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'd love if Antonio ain't starting, mate, people are going to go mad. Let's be real. So let's be honest.
I get why Antonio possibly could be starting because Skamaka wasn't sharp enough today at all for me.
Yeah,
but I think Cornet should definitely start, but he won't. But I think he should be starting.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I thought Cornet was decent today. Lucas, what do you reckon, team-wise, Sunday?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same as we did last week, unfortunately. Souček will be in there, which I don't hate Souček. I actually love Souček, but he's just been so bad. So bad. Like, I like what he brings, but his technical ability is just awful. And if I had to pick a front four, I would go Cornet, Antonio, Bowen, and Benrahma in the hole, because I've said this many times. I think Fornals and Benrahma are tactical type players where they should be playing in certain matches and they shouldn't be playing in certain ones. And we're at home. Brighton are going to give us possession. We need creativity, and I would rather see Benrahma in the hole rather than Fornals. And we'll probably see Cresswell on the left, Zuma, Soufal on the right, Fabianski in goal, and then
so you don't think
the left
one
center
thing I'm
half
going to ask
spot
you
is difficult,
right? So you don't think that we're going to match up with it with Brighton? They play a 3-4-3.
No, match for them. Definitely not. If we do, then I'd love to see Cresswell dropped.
Well, no, Cresswell plays.
Cornet go left wing back.
Well, Cresswell plays left centre half, doesn't he?
No.
And then Cornet go left wing back, Benrahma left wing. That'd be right, but then you'd have to drop Fornals. I would anyway.
All I'm saying is if we're gonna be in possession and we're gonna get some shots on goal, I want to see Benrahma play instead of Fornals. But if we're gonna match, it's tough to drop Benrahma. But if we're gonna match Brighton, I would rather see Fornals play. But right now you can't drop Benrahma. You just can't. So I would
see Benrahma playing a corner though. He deserves it. Like, I'm really gone off Benrahma, but based on his performance, even today and on Sunday, you can't not play him.
I think he's undroppable at the minute, all day long. Like, you can't drop this geezer.
So
I'm going to ask you this:
the left center half spot for me is a bit tricky, depending on if we go 5/3 in the back or 4. I thought Ogbonna was pretty good today, but I don't know if he's ready for that step up quite just yet. If Ogbonna has another good match in Denmark, I might have some faith in him that we can stick him in rotation in the Premier League, but I think it might still be a little too early.
Yeah, it's too early for Ogbonna in the Prem, mate. But if we see him now, I'm shitting myself, mate, 100%. One question I'm going to ask you now before we wrap this up. Right, if Skamaka isn't starting on Sunday, how you boys going to feel? Because I'm going to feel a bit pissed off, on to be honest, true.
I'll be alright with it. I understand it.
I'll I'll be all right.
If he lit up today and really put his stamp on the game, controlled it, was sharper, then yeah, I would be fuming. But did not show enough to warrant a start at everyone's own.
I'll be all right just off the fact I love everyone.
I would still start him personally, but
yeah,
I love everyone. I respect everyone's opinion, but I can't get behind playing Scamacca and Antonio because that leaves us with 0 fucking impact subs. So one of them has to play. I don't want both of them to play. So as long as one of them play, I really won't care. But if
can I ask you this though? What is the better impact sub, Antonio
1,000%.
or Scamacca? Because I think Scamacca's not really a impact sub for me, but Antonio today was all right coming on. Like
Antonio,
yeah, look, Antonio is more as an impact sub for me. And I agree with you there. I really do.
Give me 30 minutes of Antonio off the bench against a tired back line 11 times out of 10 in this current scenario or situation.
Yeah, I agree. I really do.
Sorry. Good shout, yeah.
Boys, we've come to the end. We got there in the end. We've done all our predictions, and West Ham won tonight, so that's good news. Anything else you want to discuss before we go?
Just that quickly, Suchek. I said the fault. Suchek, I think it's one of the worst technical footballers I've ever seen in my life.
Fair enough.
Is the worst technical footballer I've ever seen at West Ham.
Yeah. Are you going on Sunday, Mitch?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be watching 2 teams and the ref. And the ref is one of the worst refs in the league.
Oh, who is it?
Anthony Taylor.
No way.
Anthony, I was going to drop this in right at the end for you boys.
We've had 3 shitters in a row.
Who's in the VAR?
Mike Dean. Oh dear, I thought he is, mate. 100%. Right. So,
right,
boys,
I'm changing my prediction 2-1 Brighton.
I thought I'd cheer you up that way. I must admit, you miserable bastards, all you. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new.
Made the rest of my week fucking horrible. I don't even want to watch on Sunday.
I've just ruined him in one sort of word, Anthony Taylor.
Collateral.
Anyway, yeah, please do subscribe to the channel.
Keep going,
if you're new around here, please smash a like on the video.
Keep going,
Mitch. Mitch is gone, mate. Mitch is gone. But
keep going.
You know what I mean? I don't know what they're like tonight. These two, the fucking wind-up versions, 100%. Anyway, you right there, Mitch?
Can't go down anymore.
That's what Suchek says to you. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here before we end up getting banned or some shit. Anyway, let's get a win on Sunday. We need it. Bye for now.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.